So it's the 17th of July 2025 and we have a new special site added for patch 7.3. Obviously the next letter from a producer live just around the corner is going to be focusing on in-game footage, and I'm sure they'll add to this website as we get closer to that August release date. And in theory we should get the August actual release date on the next live letter. But for now we've got the patch artwork for the Promise of Tomorrow, which is patch 7.3, as well as obviously lots of things to look at here. This patch artwork is really lovely. I personally really like that. It's a little bit different than what we're used to. I like the use of white space in the background there. It just looks nice, doesn't it? Look really cool. And we've got all of our favorite and some less favorite characters included here. So obviously with 7.3 comes a new storyline, and we've got some pictures here as well. It says, modified memories, neo-regulators and rampaging soldiers. Recent events have given rise to uncertainty and confusion as a seemingly contagious fear of death erodes the joy from the faces of Alexandria's citizens. Desperate to preserve the former queen's beloved kingdom, the Warrior of Light rushes from one crisis to the next. I have absolutely no idea what to expect from this particular patch. The first image then is obviously of real Sphene. Is that what we're going to call her? Like the OG Sphene, the one that was awoken. Spoilers, I guess. We've got Alice there, we've got the Warrior of Light, we've got Wook Lamont, and we've got Alphino in the background there. I think that's Grahat here behind Wook Lamont, which is unfortunate. Unfortunate picture, that one. It's a shame that, you know, Graha's hiding there, and Ishtola in what appears to be like a server room, probably somewhere in the Underkeep. And then we've got the crazy soldiers, which are being manipulated presumably by Calyx. And there's like a surveillance room, and we have all sorts of things going on here. Lots of surveillance, sort of closed circuit television stuff going on there. I just personally would like to get these screens, all of these screens for our housing. We've got a desk with monitors on it more recently, but I think we can never have enough monitors. If you go to the gym, actually, in Solution 9, that has a ton of things like computer desks and things that would be really cool to have as housing. So hopefully they're listening to that request. And then obviously we've got a picture of Calyx with his 3D pen. Maybe he's doing some art or something. Probably not. Seems to be the mastermind behind everything, and he's got this sinister sort of smug look on his face. And yeah, if this guy isn't an Ascian, I'll eat my hat, quite honestly. It definitely feels like we're going in that direction. Shout out to the sort of latex glove effect there, giving you a better idea of those gloves. Yeah, I don't know really what to expect from a storyline. It's probably my least excited for bit, if I'm perfectly honest, but hopefully the dungeon and trial and extreme version of a trial are fun. In terms of new challenges then, we have something that everyone that I've talked to has been hyped for. The second part of the Echoes of Vana'diel Final Fantasy XI Alliance raid. This is Sandoria, the second walk. It says Yaktel now plays host to a rift in reality, connecting our world to that of Vana'diel and the city of Juno. And it is there, in this land of bygone heroes and forgotten adventures, that a new threat arises. We got some images here, obviously, of the big bads, and of course, Preesh chilling out there. This looks like Shaloni in the background, actually. So maybe there'll be a bit of walking around. Maybe there's a rift that opens in Shaloni, perhaps? It'd be interesting to see if it was like different parts of a world suddenly got these rifts opening to these different places from Vana'diel, as opposed to just everything in Yaktel, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. I mean, this just looks amazing, doesn't it? Sandoria, wow. We've got rainbows, and double rainbows all the way in the sky. We've got this kind of eerie mist around the actual buildings. We've got the crystal there. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? What they can do with backdrops. Absolutely gorgeous. And then you've got this. Wow, look at that icy sort of area. Just incredible, isn't it? Absolutely incredible. But yeah, really looking forward to that personally. And we got some nice new images that you can download on the media section If you want a new wallpaper, you could do a lot worse than those images for certain. Then we've got the new dungeon, the Meso Terminal, which includes pictures of the new gear from the dungeon. It says the lights of living memory no longer shine, and the towering statue at its center stands silent amidst the wistful echoes of lives once lived. That's a mouthful. The Meso Terminal, it is at once a monument to the existence of the Alexandrian people and a resting place for their many memories. So, this is basically at the heart of living memory, and probably leads into the trial, most definitely. It's kind of a mixture of different styles, but we've got this neo-futurism stuff going on here, very similar to how we saw with the Sphene fight at the end of the expansion storyline. Very cool stuff. Presumably something to do with Calyx should be in this. This obviously is from Final Fantasy IX. If you don't remember where this is from, here's an image on screen. Very cool, honestly. And I wonder if we'll get any guest appearances of NPCs or references to certain NPCs from 9 in that area. Then, of course, we've got some in-combat footage here. So it looks like there's tethers around here, chains to specific AoEs. We've got donut AoEs, and we've got... Is that another donut AoE? I can't tell, or if that's just a... It looks donut. Yeah, so we've got these donut AoEs. Obviously, one of the mechanics from one of the bosses. And, yeah, some interesting gear on display here. And this is the actual dungeon gear set. So... Well, this is the real meat and potatoes of this update, isn't it? So, wow, look at this. It almost looks like an old school policeman sort of thing, like with the helmet. But it's like, oh, I don't know. I quite like some of these. They're different. Different is good when it comes to gear and obviously glamour. Ooh, and if you want to make a, Three Musketeers glamour, this is the perfect top for that. That is absolutely awesome. Yeah, and then you just get a rapier, for example. That would be amazing. It's some interesting gear. It's not necessarily all my cup of tea, but I look at gear sets like this and I look at individual pieces, like that top, for example, that helm, maybe that chest piece. A lot of this looks very similar to what we've had before in the game, but there's some good potential there. Sort of generic boots. The tops are interesting though. They're kind of a mix of different styles. It's not the sort of thing you would expect to see from this dungeon. But yeah, I guess that's the theme they're going with. Almost, I don't know actually. I'm not really sure what to make of that. Maybe someone else has better ideas of what this is referencing. But I do want to be like the, Zorro or the Musketeers. That would be pretty awesome. And that's the final image of that. Then we have the trial, which just has this one image of Sphene looking a little bit menacing. Like she's discovered she's left the kettle on and she's like 20 miles away from home. She knows that bad things are going to happen when she gets back. As the Warrior of Light pursues a confrontation with Calyx, a new threat of dreadful aspect rises to bar the path. Now, is this the moment where we see Necron? Because that's, spoilers for Final Fantasy IX, but it feels like Calyx could be, Necron. Could be an Ascian, could transform into a final form. This is supposed to be the culmination, the summary of the Dawntrail storyline. It's supposed to wrap up the main Dawntrail story within this patch, if I remember correctly. That's what Yoshi P and the team said, right? In the last live letter. So not only have they got to wrap that up, but they've got to have a big finish that leads into something else for the next couple of patches that lead into 8.0. So we're getting towards the end of the storyline is what I'm saying. I really just want Necron in the game as a boss fight. Like if you've played 9, then you'll be like, yeah, they could do some really cool stuff with that, and it'd be a missed opportunity if they didn't. So that's my tinfoil hat conspiracy theory idea: is that Calyx is Necron. Will I be right? Probably not. And that's all they've got at the moment, apart from a summary of what's to come in 7.3, which includes obviously the main scenario, Promise of Tomorrow, New Alliance Raid, Echoes of Vana'diel Sandoria, the Meso Terminal, the new trial, which I'm going to say is Necron, Calyx Necron, new Unreal trial. We got the new Treasure Dungeon. Crystalline Conflict gets a new map. We've got the weapon enhancement quest for phantom weapons, so you know your next stage of those, whether that will be a light stage or whatever, more tomes probably. New deep dungeon, which is what I'm most excited for. I can't wait to see some images and information on that, which is called Pilgrim's Traverse, which is located in Ilmeg. So lots of fairy related stuff, lots of Titania kind of themed stuff. Can't wait to see that. We've got the new Allied Society quest with the Yok Hoi, which is up in the mountain range, so it's nice and snowy. And obviously there's loads of weird fluffy bunny creatures, so presumably that's a mount. We've got more Hildebrand. We've got Cosmic Exploration gets a new planetoid, a new place to go, moon, planet, whatever you want to call it, new star, as well as new tool enhancement quests for your cosmic tools. Chat bubble feature is confirmed here. Look, it's actually written, so those of you who are excited for chat bubbles, if you do a lot of RP or you want to see things pop up above people's heads, you'll have to turn that on. It comes default turned off in the settings menu. A lot of people have been hyped for that, but that is confirmed in writing now for 7.3. New PvP gear with a new PvP series as well, so lots of new rewards, new mounts, minions, emotes, additional duty support. If I remember correctly, it's for Cutter's Cry, I think it is. You know, the Ant Dungeon, if you remember that one from when you were leveling up. So it'll be interesting to see how much of that they rip away, because it was a lot of teleportation back in the day. Quite annoying. We'll have to see how they've dealt with that and what the dungeon feels like. It could be a completely different dungeon now, if we look back at others they've changed. And it says additional Doman Mahjong voices, including Wook Lamat. Yay. Kona and Bakor Jar Jar, and much more. Some content will be made available via patch updates at a later date. So yeah, this is not all in 7.3. This will be in 7.3, 7.35, etc., 7.32 or whatever. So yeah, basically, there's quite a lot that they need to upload to this website, and we'll be looking at the special site updates. The big thing to take away from this then, Angry Sphene discovering hopefully Necron as the bad guy. The dungeon gear is kind of it's okay. Some sets better than others. There are a lot of repeats of some of those chess pieces that have been slightly modified, but definitely up there for the for the four musketeers, three musketeers, and the weird metal policeman. And yeah, definitely hyped for Final Fantasy XI's second Alliance raid. That the series is actually better than the MSQ in my opinion. But don't let anybody know that I said that. But yeah, I'm excited to see what Promise of Tomorrow brings. And realistically, we're not too far away now. I mean, we're on the 17th of July. Before you know it, we'll have the live letter, and then we'll have a patch pushed out, if I could speak, and yeah, it'll be glorious. There'll be things to do once again. We are in a bit of a lull of content at the moment in the video game, so a lot of things are kind of in waiting. But yeah, if you want any of those images, go to the media section, click 7.3, and you can get yourself a pretty badass looking wallpaper. Yeah, you could do a lot worse than that. I think I'd probably go for this one, though. Anyway, let me know what you think about this. If you like the gear, I think that's the biggest question. Do you think it's horrible? Let me know. Have a fantastic day. More videos on the way, and I'll see you all next time.